Washington mornings on the Mall. 105.9 FM. And AM 630. WMAL.
Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour at 8:07, we're going to be joined by General Stanley McChrystal's written a book. He's also no doubt going to have some things to say about what has happened in Algeria in the last 24 hours. I don't know that he'll have any more information, but he might have some insight. We'll ask him about that. Brian Wilson and Larry O'Connor.
And joining us now, Fox News Channel's very own Bret Baier, of course, from Special Report on Fox News Channel every weekday at 6 p.m. And I want to ask you about the latest in Algeria as well. But before I do that, I'd love to find out what are the plans for Fox News Channel's inauguration coverage, other than, of course, extensive reporting and analysis on the First Lady's new bangs.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Megyn Kelly and I will be heading up inauguration coverage. We have special coverage on Sunday, where when the vice president is sworn in early, and then the president's swearing in. We have 11 to 1, I think, is a special Megyn Kelly and I, and then I'll have a special report on Sunday, and then we have all kinds of coverage on Monday through the speech and the parade. A special report, and then we have a 9 to 10 p.m. special of the ball coverage Monday. So we have nonstop coverage on inauguration, every angle.
You know, I've been involved in some of the past inauguration planning at Fox News when I was there, and it's extensive, the kind of planning you go through, and there's always a new wrinkle, it seems, and every time you try to do this. Are you finding any impediments to trying to cover this particular inaugural?
Well, you know, it's interesting. You know, the logistics is a little different. The balls, there's just one basically. There are two main balls. The massive one at the Washington Convention Center, and the military ball. So that's a little easier logistically, actually. The other logistical issue is the 2 days of coverage, since it's a Sunday,
right,
where he'll be swearing in officially, and then the Monday coverage. So we have all kinds of reporters, as you well know, at every stop along the way. And we'll be also reviewing the first term and kind of looking forward to the second term in policy and politics with our panel and experts and Charles Krauthammer and all the regulars that you usually see on Fox.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, and it sounds like we can just keep it at Fox News to watch everything happening.
Why would you go anywhere?
I'm just saying.
Unless you're in your car, then you'd listen to us.
I will say this, though. If at any point anyone from Fox News, unless Charles Krauthammer, he gets an exception here, but if anybody is on a red carpet or anywhere near any of the balls and asks anyone, what are you wearing? I am turning off the television. Except for Krauthammer. I want Krauthammer. All right, good to know. All right, so let's get to Algeria. I mean, what are you hearing? What is the latest? It seems, obviously, we've been saying all morning, it's such a fluid situation, but it seems as though, to us, from where we're sitting, that the Algerian government basically thumbed its nose at the American government and just did its own thing while American lives were at risk, and it
may have been lost.
And it appears have been lost. What are you hearing?
Yeah, that's what we're hearing as well. And we don't have definitive word as of yet. As of late last night, early this morning, the two Americans who had made it out to London were the only two that we had officially heard had made it out. And the rest were unaccounted for. And the Algerian operation that went in, the Special Forces operation, it appears has killed a number of people. And we just don't know, the outcome yet. We don't know. There are people unaccounted for. And I think, today we'll get the ground truth of what's happening there.
Well, we had drones over the area. Did they not give us any intelligence? Are you hearing anything about what the drones saw? They got there apparently after the attack, is what I'm told.
Exactly, yeah. And the other thing is, with drones, they provide you some overview of what's happening, not really a granular,
right,
in-depth look. I mean, you can kind of get an overview of a scene, but not perhaps who's getting killed on the inside if it's a special ops mission where people are going in and shooting. So I think we'll find out today. The bottom line here is that, one, terrorists are operating in that region, and they feel emboldened. Two, the U.S. is not operating in that region, and
it has no influence, apparently.
Yeah, there's perhaps a vacuum there. And three, how we responded to the Benghazi attack, going after or not going after those responsible for that attack and the killing of our ambassador there, may have also sent a signal to those groups and, said you can act with impunity.
Yeah, a pattern seems to be developing there in that region. Bret Baier, again, is our guest. He's the anchor of Special Report on Fox News Channel. One of the things I like about Special Report is that you cover so many different things in the American news cycle, and you covered extensively the Manti Te'o story, the story of the linebacker out of Notre Dame and his made-up girlfriend. I'd love to take your personal take on this and what you think this story says about American journalism, sports journalism, and, or for that matter, just the American sports culture, in that so many people just wanted to believe this that no one really asked another question.
Yeah. This was actually a debate in our editorial meeting.
I bet it was.
Whether we should spend time on this or not. And when we came to it at the end, we said, listen, everyone is talking about this story. So in that sense, it affects culture in America, and you can't kind of turn a blind eye to something that is happening. We don't cover every TMZ event.
Yeah, this is not a Lindsay Lohan kind of story. I think
Right.
that this cuts a lot deeper, and I think you made the right call, definitely.
And plus, I just had the sense that people wanted to hear what the psychiatrist on the panel thought about it.
Yeah, I bet that's right, yeah.
So I think, and in addition, we kind of said that the White House was asked about it, so it qualifies as a policy.
There you go. There's a hook for you.
Yeah. I just think it's so strange and it's so bizarre that he was talking about this girlfriend after finding out that it was not true, and I think that it suggests that it's far deeper and that he that he may be
right.
much more tied into it than anyone ever thought.
Very quickly, I just want to ask you, you can count votes, like a lot of people on Capitol Hill can count votes. I want to mention the names of some Democrats in the Senate. Mark Begich of Alaska, Tim Johnson, South Dakota, Mark Pryor, Arkansas, Max Baucus, Montana, Kay Hagan, North Carolina, Mary Landrieu, Louisiana, Al Franken, Minnesota, Harry Reid, Nevada. All of those people are going to have a hard time voting voting for an assault weapons ban, aren't they?
Yeah.
And doesn't that tell you that it really is not going to go anywhere?
It's increasingly difficult to see how an assault weapons ban has the votes to move forward.
So why is he pushing for it if he knows it's not going to go anywhere?
Well, I think you're going to start to see that the White House starts to send different signals, like let's go for the things that we can get. And I don't know that the White House will be as forceful as the president suggests on the assault weapons ban piece of that message he sent the other day.
As the other stuff, yeah.
I think they'll start to back off that part because, frankly, the numbers are just not there.
All right,
I mean, they're definitively not there in the House, but in the Senate, on the Democratic side, as you point out, they're not there.
They're not even there. All right, Bret Baier, thanks for joining. Oh, by the way, Piers Morgan says he's going to beat Bill O'Reilly. You guys scared?
I don't think it'll happen.
Thanks,
Thanks, Brett.